Happy New Year, everyone. It's 2022. This is Jay in the lab, and today we're going to be talking about deploying DLP 11.6 and upgrading version 11.5 and then downgrading. And we're going to do it in an automated fashion through these 4 steps: client deployment tasks, tags, queries, and server tasks. And we're going to show you how to do that. We have 5 links here in the video you can download, and we may put it in a zip file. So if you don't see it like this, you unzip it. And we're going to start by checking in these XML files. So I've done a lot of the work for you. And what you're going to do is you're going to import these client deployment tasks as we begin. Once you check that in, you'll have these 2 upgrades, 2 downgrades or install uninstalls. Then the second piece is going to be our tags. And the tags are going to be used to put onto machines to help us identify to the server tasks and queries what to do in an automated way. So you go to the 3 dots in the upper right, select import tags, take the second file that is provided to you. Make sure you ever see something in red, uncheck them because they're already assigned to the tag catalog. There are the 6 tags we're going to use. The next part is we're going to import the dashboard. And of course, when we import any dashboard, any queries that are a part of that dashboard also get checked into the queries and reports area. The next part will be to take the 4 server tasks that we're going to use and take the 4 associated queries and check those in. So our server tasks, which is the last phase here, will have those to pick against. And then what we're going to do is select the server task category, import the task, choose the last file, number 5, and bring those 4 server tasks into EPO. Okay, let's get going and show you how it's all done. We have 4 different phases here, but they included 5 XML imports, beginning with our client deployment tasks all the way through our server tasks. Now, in the client deployment tasks, just pinpointing the obvious here, Captain Obvious, you have to have the software in order to configure the client deployment task. In our case, in our demonstration, DLPe version 11.5 was in the current branch and 11.6 was in the evaluation branch. And it would look something similar to this. You want to make sure that they're all going to be configured properly. Otherwise, nothing is going to install or uninstall properly. Just go in there, take a look, make sure that each of them are configured to do exactly what the naming in of the client task is. You can change the name if you wish. The pound signs are to indicate that you're going to put a number there. It makes it a little bit easier to help other people be instructed to go to a particular task to do it. I left them with just 3 pounds. Feel free to number them to your heart's content. It is a best practice. Now over here in the tag catalog, we're going to have 6 tags. They're going to look just like this. Normally, you don't have to worry about any problems on the import with tags. Do put them in a group, though, that's appropriate for your lab. Remember, all of this that we're going to do is going to be in your lab environment. Kick the tires, get to know how they work before you even think of moving them into a production environment to work. You don't want to learn in your production environment. You want to learn in a test environment. If you're a supersonic SME kind of admin for EPO, then this is going to be old hat stuff to you that you can do in the lost and found in a subgroup. Okay, onward to dashboards. When we import the dashboard XML, it's going to bring with it all of the queries that were associated with the dashboard. And what I did to make everything really easy for you is I named it -1, -2, -3, but these are queries, and you're going to find that all of those were imported properly into the queries and reports section. What you're going to need to do, though, is the importing of a lot of XMLs tend to drop a configuration, especially where we have a lot of moving parts here. And when you see the demonstration, you'll understand how cool it is, but you have to work on it to make sure that all these little pieces work fine. Anything that's misconfigured, nothing's going to work properly the way you expect it. So as you notice here from -1, -2, -3, -4, A, B, C, and D are associated with the configurations that you see. When you go into -1, you want to make sure the configuration looks just like this. So on and so forth. Now for -5 through 8, the same thing holds true, and what I also did was to name all the tags by numbers. It makes it a little bit easier to go in and check your work and to know what you need to configure in the event the tags are missing. And then save all of your dashes as you need to make sure that they look just like this. You have 2 dashes left. These are queries, of course, and they're going to be simply configured as shown. Now we have 4 last queries. I'm going to show you the difference. Over here, you'll notice that 9 and 10 look like bar charts. However, when we use server tasks, we're going to use tables. And the little logo or picture that you see to the left of part 1, part 2, 3, and 4 are tables. Guess what? You can't put tables in a dashboard unless you were the old EZEFI and they all blew those rules to hell when they actually allowed you to do that. But not many, if any now, of the McAfee products really let you put tables into the dashboards. But I'm sure with that said, you're going to find that you have the experience to say, oh, wait a second, nope, this one still allows you to do that. That's fine. Make sure they look just like this. Otherwise, the server tasks, which is this part, the very last part, number 4, is going to import through your XML these 4 phases or these 4 parts where we upgrade from 11 to 5 to 6. Then we do a tag cleanup or housekeeping, as I like to call it. And then when we need to downgrade it, should there be a problem, we can in fact downgrade, clean up the tags, and then you're done. But we're going to show you that to you in the demo. Server task 1 is going to look just like this. Make sure you check the work. Make sure your import worked fine. Server task 2. Server task 3. 3 has a little bit more to it. The reason being is that when you downgrade, you have to uninstall, in this case, 11.6. Once you dump 11.6, you can install 11.5, and then we do some application of a tag, and we do a couple of clearing of the other tags. When we're all done, I think you'll be fairly impressed that it's pretty cool, and this is the power of EPO. Here's the last server task and the way it's configured. Let's get going and actually show you how this demonstration is going to work when all these pieces finally come together. Okay, so onwards with the demo. We have 11.5, as we see here from our DLP column that we've added, and we're going to go from 11.5 to 11.6. In order to make that all happen, we're going to tag these 2 machines that we have, go to Actions, Tag, Apply Tag. Go to the group where we have our tags, and we're either going to do an upgrade of DLP 11.5 to 6, or we're going to do a downgrade, but right now we're going to actually kick it all off and do an upgrade. There we go. Now that we've tagged the machines, you're going to kick it off with the server task, and we have 4 of them. These first 2 here are for the upgrades. These 2 are for the downgrades. Let's go ahead and kick this off. They're both disabled. We're doing everything manual in the lab. You're going to do the same thing just so you can be sure that everything looks right. Okay, here we go. We go into the dashboards. Now, if I had come back here right after I tagged those 2 machines, this would have been lit up. Now that I've started the server task, we've gone into a phase where we've removed the tag that you just put into place, and you put this in progress tag. How do I know? When I go to System Tree, tag 1 is missing, tag 2 has been inserted, and it says to 11.6 in progress. We go back to the dashboard, and when we go from 11.5 to 6, 11.5 is going to get ripped out temporarily as 11.6 gets ready to be installed. Now, when we actually look at our status monitor, we're going to see here that we have this good work taking place. Specifically, we started to install at 5:37. It's literally 1 minute later, and it's currently downloading software. This is what you see here, installing DLP 11.6. Well, these are 1 minute timers. We're going to do this quickly. Edit the monitor. You'll see that we can only show you the minimum is 1 minute to automatically refresh these. I'm going to refresh this guy. And this is pretty true. This is right up to the minute right now. When we go to the system tree, you'll see that 11.5 hasn't really been taken out yet. Don't worry, we're getting there. So we're going to watch to see how these are moving from one bucket to another. So we installed 11.6. 11.6 is in fact here. Let's go back to our dashboard, and you'll see that we have two systems here, two systems here. This is where the server task number 2 cleans up any of the confusion that SQL has. And now what we're going to do is we're going to run this, and you would typically run this 10 minutes after you run this server task number 1. Again, these timers are independent, and I'm trying to show you something real time. If I had been really patient and waited out that 1 minute timer, these would automatically clear and you would see our success story. Okay, let's go. We're 6 minutes in. We did the install in roughly 6 minutes on 2 machines. We're going to do the uninstall now. Just as easy. Tag. We're going to apply a tag. What do we want to do? We want to downgrade from 11.6 to 11.5. So here's where automation is going to be king. I'm going to go to the server tasks, and I'm going to actually schedule this. We're going to edit this. It is 5:43 right now, and I'm going to put 5:45 p.m. I'm going to save it. But I also want to have this enabled so it goes off. So this one's all set. We're going to, 10 minutes later, 5:55, we're going to tell our last task, and we'll enable it here. This will be 5:55. This will run automatically. Now, let's go look at our timer here. In 1 minute, or at 5:45, this is going to do its deal. Now, over here in the dashboards, just going to refresh this manually, refresh this. We have this tagged to do the upgrade. It's already at 11.6. We're waiting for our 5:45 server task number 3 to trip. There are lots of moving parts. It is 5:45. We've executed an, right back here, an uninstall of 11.6. We're going to install 11.5. This is going to get queued up. And 11.6 is going to begin to be coming off of here, just as you can see here. Also notice when I go to the system tree, we've gone from this tag being applied, 11.6 to 11.5 is now in progress. Great news. Go back to the dashboard. And as we look at this, I'm just not even going to touch it. I'm going to let you see how this is working. This refresh timer never successfully, I never waited for it to be done, but these are both clear. You'll see that we have 2 that are in interim process before they actually get to 11.5, which is probably taking place right now. Look at that, installing DLPe Agent 11.5. Now, when this is all entirely done, and it says that it's freed, very much like the uninstall showed for 11.6. Are you confused yet? If you're really on top of your game, you should be following all these pieces because there's a lot of stuff happening. But I've got this under a magnifying glass. I'm giving you a lot of commentary so your eyes can begin to be trained to look at these agent monitors should you have one in the lab. Now over here, we're installing 11.5. This install is literally, it's installing right now, and it says it finished. Perfect. So I'm going to come up here, go to the system tree, and you'll see the 11.5 is here. So I'm going to go over here, but guess what? The tag cleanup takes place with the second server task, which is going to be when we said you're going to run at 5:55. Well, this happened a lot faster than I expected. We kicked this off at 5:45, and 3 minutes later, we're kind of ready to rock and roll. So I'm going to do an override, do a refresh because I don't want to wait for it. This is all done because we just saw. There are the two machines, and when I go back to look at the system tree, 11.5 has been restored. How about that? So you just took an entire journey with me in a relatively short period of time. And if you want some automation, this is the way to do it. All you have to do is stagger your first and second server task. And then if you have to remove the product, begin with server task 3, you have server task 4. And what starts it all, you say? Well, of course, when you're done, you'll have to come in here and manually, unless you have another server task to clear it, you're going to clear the tag. Call 11.5 restored. There you go. I hope you got something out of that. For now, this is Jay Appell in the lab. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.